The year 1979 in the United Kingdom was marked by significant political and social events. Margaret Thatcher became the first female Prime Minister and implemented conservative policies that aimed to reduce government intervention and promote free markets. The Winter of Discontent saw widespread strikes and labor unrest, leading to a decline in public support for the Labour Party. The Iranian Revolution resulted in the overthrow of the Shah and the rise of Ayatollah Khomeini, leading to tensions between the UK and Iran. The UK also faced challenges in Northern Ireland, with increased violence and bombings by paramilitary groups. The year ended with the release of the film Monty Python's Life of Brian, which sparked controversy and debates on freedom of speech and religious satire. Overall, 1979 was a transformative year for the UK, marked by political shifts, social unrest, and cultural debates.
Thatcher's night. Of the party leaders, only she spent the night in London for the past few hours, sleeping soundly, no doubt, on the success of her party and on her own historic prospects. Well, before she went to bed, she said she was optimistic of forming the next government and was ready to do so. Mrs Thatcher's own majority at Finchley was up 4,000, and when she returned to the Tory party headquarters, she was rapturous. Here they were welcoming Mrs Thatcher, the first woman to lead a party in a general election in Britain and now set to become Europe's first woman Prime Minister. Her party's fortunes apparently assured, Mrs Thatcher went home to Chelsea, still, however, refusing to claim final victory.
Mrs Thatcher, how do you feel at this point of the evening?
We're going well, and I feel optimistic that all will be right tomorrow morning.
They're projecting a majority of 25 to 34. Is that going to be enough, do you think, for the changes you want to make?
I think that would be very good, but just let's wait until we get it. There's still a lot of results to come in tomorrow morning, and you can't be sure until we've got 318.
For Mr Callaghan, a night of disappointment, with the growing number of Tory gains steadily diminishing his hopes for 5 more years of Labour rule. Even in his own constituency of Cardiff South East, the going was rough. His majority was down by 2,000, and then, when the result was announced, the proceedings were interrupted by heckling from the Troops Out movement, who'd made their presence felt at many of his campaign meetings. With the din growing, Mr Callaghan invited Pat Arrowsmith, a member of the movement, standing as an independent, to make a speech.
Invited to give a speech on Ireland. I say the bloodshed in Ireland should be stopped. There should be self-determination for the people of Ireland. Now. We should stop occupying Ireland.
Everyone else is saying exactly what they think of her.
Self-determination as the people of Wales and as the people of Scotland. There'll be troops out now.
Miss Arrowsmith got 132 votes. Away from the disturbance, Mr Callaghan gave his reaction to the results so far.
And I must say they do show a lot of regional swings and a lot of differences in the swing. And I've seen the trends, just like you intelligent commentators have. I shall have something more to say when it's entirely clear, and I'll say it in London.
Do you have any advice for Mrs Thatcher now?
I should go to bed if I were her.
Well, the Liberal leader certainly went to bed, Mr Steele, that is, with the knowledge that he'd increased his own personal majority, but that his hopes for a wedge of Liberal MPs in the next Parliament had all but evaporated. Mr Steele's own win at Roxburgh, Selkirk and Peebles, involving a swing from the Conservatives of 2.8, but Liberal hopes of between 20 and 50 Liberal MPs to help bring about what Mr Steele had called the People's Parliament were simply not fulfilled. And then, of course, there was the shock of seeing their former leader, Mr Jeremy Thorpe, lose his seat at Devon North. It was one of the night's moments of drama. Mr Thorpe, whose trial at the Old Bailey starts next week, had represented the constituency for 20 years. Now he saw his majority of more than 6,500 overturned.
Conservative. 31,811. 31811. Thorpe, John Jeremy Thorpe.
Liberal.
23,338. 23338.
share and subscribe.